Welcome to Babylon 5 for the first time, not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Akin.
And I'm Brent Allen. You know, Jeff and I were two veteran Star Trek nerds who decided to come together to watch Babylon 5 for the first time. We fell in love with it so much that, you know what? We continued that journey with Crusade and now with the movies. Back to the movies, Jeff. If you guys are joining us for the very first time, or you've never seen an episode like this that Jeff and I do this way, first of all, welcome, because every episode is somebody's first episode. So you're amazing. You're awesome. We're so glad that you're here. What's about to happen is Jeff and I are going to watch this episode right now. Unlike how we've done this every other time before, Jeff, we haven't watched this episode prior to coming into this and then talked about it or thought about it and wrote down notes and all that sort of stuff. No. We're going to watch the episode together right now. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, stick around because you're going to catch our reaction. We're going to cut it up and then we're going to do a reaction video to the show, to the movie, to the thing. We're going to do the thing.
And if you're listening to us on a podcasting app, honestly, I have no idea how we're going to edit this, so I don't know what's going to happen, but pretty soon you'll hear us talk about the episode one way or the other.
On the podcasting thing. Hey, you know what? If you're not on the podcasting thing, you're on the video. Even if you are on the podcasting thing, if you want to check out the full unedited version of our reaction to this, you can head over to our Patreon page, and you can find that at patreon.com/Babylon5First. That's the number 5 and the word first.
What do you say we start this thing?
Let's kick this pig. This is so weird, Jeff, because normally you and I are switched on this.
I know, I got the controls and stuff. That is a weird looking logo.
Automatic weapons tracking system disabled.
That looks like a guy that we saw in one of the season 5 Minbari episodes.
Yeah.
Like one of the student rangers.
Yeah. What's his name? There's a Findel?
Something like that. Yeah.
The rules we follow and we never stop.
In Valen's name.
In Valen's name.
I have never been so less convinced of somebody saying that before in my life.
Zero conviction.
Yeah.
What just happened?
They got bombed, dude.
Don't recognize that ship, so I don't know where this lands in time.
Without weapons, we don't have a chance.
Even if it's not Frankie doing the music, this feels so much better.
It does. You're not joking.
I said stand down.
I haven't seen a ranger pin on. Oh, there it is.
We live for the one, we die for the one.
I haven't seen a ranger pin on
But
any
we
of these
don't die
guys.
stupidly.
We don't die. I like that. We live for the one, we die for the one. We don't die stupidly.
Somebody call Worf and let him know. You know who I really miss right now? Is Delen's friend that's the battery down there for the Great Machine.
Drawl.
Yeah, him.
Not exactly the word I was searching for, Jakar.
Yeah.
Ominous, perhaps?
Look, I like him coming on screen right as his name's at the bottom.
Yep.
That was cool.
Hostile, heavily armed, and
Christopher Frank.
aesthetically displeasing.
That's good.
Try unknown.
Clear your thoughts of distractions.
Oh, it just pisses me off and lets me stew.
More quickly this time.
Oh, he's the water boy.
Considered a distraction if I belted Tanir.
You
Tanir.
can do it.
Tanir. His name's Tanir.
Tanir.
Okay. It's episode 8, season 5. I
Notice you
promise
left your
you.
right side exposed again. You know, I just love it when you get all self-righteous and stuff. Makes your head bone quiver right back here.
Oh.
But despite your years of training, you still do not fully understand what it is to be one of us. Still, in the end, the decision was his, not yours.
So shocking.
Hold with you.
Racist Minbari?
Sarah, Malcolm.
Never would have guessed.
And we're not supposed to do that, are we, Tanir?
Remind me. Oh, one that was in that episode. Learning Curve was the name of it, if I remember.
That was Learning
right?
Curve, correct. Mm-hmm.
You had Tanir and you had the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
One of them went away basically in disgrace, and the other one like survived and went on to honor.
Mm-hmm.
Was Tanir the one that went away in disgrace?
I don't remember.
Okay. And what did he go away in disgrace about?
What do you mean? Like, why did he go away in disgrace? Because he ran away. Dude, such a great callback, man.
I'm thinking that's, and so he's yelling at this dude for doing the thing that he did however many years ago, you know?
Maybe
or unless this is set during, well, no, because this is set during the seat of the Interstellar Alliance, which is post season 5. So
yeah. So if he got ran off, he's off. But
so this is him coming back. Like this is,
working his way back through. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced it's him though. I think this guy's a different guy.
You think it's a different Tanir?
Yeah.
Like, is Tanir like the name John in
Totally.
Minbar society?
Yeah.
Like,
You know what else is great right here?
what's that?
A well choreographed fight scene.
I am your friend. Where else should I be?
Oh, look at that.
You know this could be trouble.
When you are involved, I expect nothing less.
Why is a
I
human
must
in the
make them
Great Council
understand that there's
chambers?
nothing to be gained by
I don't think it's the
expelling
Great
you from my
Council
company.
chambers
Well, you get my room.
because that's on the ship. Unless they
Point
changed
I had not
that.
considered.
But he's going to have his judgment passed down
Into
upon
the
him.
circle, David Martell, and prepare to receive judgment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Maybe it is the Great Council. Look at that.
They administer
Close.
Minbar.
Yeah, so this is a Ranger issue, and I'm also just trying to put this in a place and time. So Delenn was in Tilza until Ivanova was, right? No, Sheridan came in,
till
right?
Sheridan
No?
was.
Yep,
And then after
Delenn.
Sheridan, Delenn turned to Ivanova to become the next Intilza. But I don't
So
know
I'm
that
curious-
I don't know that Ivanova got the name Intilza. I think she just got the Anlashak. Nah.
Anlashak, or the Ranger 1, or Va
Yeah.
thing. But my question already is, if this is the Great Council, why is the Great Council stepping in and dealing with a
Yeah.
Ranger?
That's what I was just saying. Like, why is the Great Council involved in this right now? Because they are Minbari government, not Ranger stuff.
Yeah,
You know.
it's transcended Minbar.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, we'll see what happens.
It is with great personal sadness and reluctance that I remove you.
May I also speak?
Yes,
I
you
love
may.
this. Okay, there it is. Come on, pontificate, citizen
All those
Jakar.
doors are open.
Said I should consider any closed door open.
Yes, that's right.
As I understand it, this human is here today because he chose to preserve the lives of his crew instead of fighting an impossible battle and getting them all killed. A violation of Minbari tradition.
That is correct.
We live for the one, we die for the one. All that.
All that.
They put their lives and their careers at risk for his sake. I've met very few who can foster that kind of loyalty. One in particular comes to mind. Stubborn, difficult, fractious, annoying, independent, and willful.
Delenn or Sheridan?
Sheridan. No, it's going
Oh,
to be Delenn.
No, I think it's
because
Delenn.
he's a Minbar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Delenn. Absolutely.
And what happened to him?
He became the president of this alliance.
Oh, it is Sheridan.
Of which the Antler Shock is part. For you, the council has chosen a slightly different.
Oh, I guess the little cursed one.
Not the Leandra. The ship that
The ship that went missing for a week, whose crew was killed, the ship everybody says is cursed. That Leandra, you ask?
Yes.
That Leandra.
Dude, I don't know how long it's been for Andreas since he's done Jakar. But
Yeah.
he's not lost a step.
Really? I was actually just thinking the opposite.
You think so? No.
So I think this came out in 2002. So it hasn't been that long.
Okay.
Year or two since he was Jakar. But I just feel like he's just a step behind. He doesn't have the same fire that he had.
Oh, really?
But maybe it's because he's trying to play himself as just being a little older, a little wiser. You know,
feels-
he's been out.
He feels less religious to me. And what I mean by
Yes.
that is, like, remember in season 5, he was this icon and he, all this big flowery language. He feels like somebody who has been gallivanting around the galaxy with Lita and has like kind of gotten out of the floweriness, I guess to say,
Yeah.
That's kind of what it feels like to me. And this is just him being him now, without being the D-bag that we saw at the beginning of the show,
Right.
or without being the pontiff that we saw at the end of the show. Like, but I can see what you're saying, but maybe I just love seeing Jakar and
It is great
hearing
to
the
see him.
voice. That might be it.
We
Or
come from
else
the stars
Stardust?
in life, and we return to the stars in death. When we are done, the
Dude,
star should be placed in
It's
the
a
heart
fat
of the
looking
ship,
Drazi.
I've never seen a
where it shall
Drazi
remain
like that.
for as long as we do.
Sarah Cantrell of Mars. Weapons and tactical combat specialist. I live to serve. I serve to live.
I work hard,
Peak of
I play
Minbar.
hard.
Political and first contact specialist. Kitaro Sasaki of Earth. Navigations, communications, and translation specialist. I'm just really glad to be here.
A
lot of
little too
unrelated-
excited to be there is what he is.
Yes.
Pharrell of Minbar, healer. My heart speaks quietly and infrequently.
I like how they all know
Malcolm
themselves.
Bridges of Beta Colony. Infiltration and covert operations specialist.
Feel of Narn. Engines, environment, and weapons support.
Nafila?
Turk. Drazi. I carry very large things. Turk. Drazi.
He's their science officer.
David Martell. No place in particular. Shakna. Captain.
He's the Shakna. So Shakna means captain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm looking for something.
I like that naming ceremony. I think
acting up. We barely got ship to ship.
it's a good way to like introduce everybody.
Engines don't work.
I like that they gave him like a talkings thing. Like you can only talk when you're holding this thing.
I have the conch. I have the starlight.
Nafil?
Yes, Captain.
Okay, I'm gonna like this girl.
The engines.
Yeah.
Just a little fine tuning. We'll be ready whenever you are.
A ragtag crew that's come together for this ragtag ship, kind of like a movie that you and I are gonna watch very, very soon. That has nothing to do with sci-fi guys.
Yep. Except these guys are going up and out instead of down and under.
But it doesn't feel like a ragtag crew. Like, you know, like these guys are people that are assigned and
Well, they were chosen, and they're ragtag because it's Nafil and Drazi that make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, but then like the girl was like, I'm gonna put 30 down on something, you know, and okay.
It's too late.
Just like that, they blow up the Valen, brand new ship.
Navigation, bring us about. Put us directly between the Valen and the enemy ship.
It's
Coming
too
about.
weird. I need some help understanding.
Is she gonna be the weapons officer and she's gonna be like in a hollow thing fighting with her fist and the ship's gonna respond?
I think so.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
like it's an interesting concept, but no.
Not Dulon. We fully emotionally connected with him.
I love how we still pulled the Star Trek thing of like the ship gets hit and energy blast gets somebody at a console somewhere. Like,
I mean, on one hand, that kind of personalizes a space battle a little bit more, but like it just seems kind of dumb.
well, we're gonna talk about this on the back end, but that right there to me is the pink Disney castle. You shouldn't understand that. Ask me later when we get to the audio portion and I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
It's the pink Disney castle.
Oh, somebody just shoot me in the head.
I love the uniqueness of the concept. I really do. But so are the safety protocols on for her when she's in her little fighting room thing?
Right? Like, I don't get it.
Losing air pressure in aft compartments.
So is this a horror episode or a action episode or
I think they had like this idea for a series, and then they're like, you get a movie, and he put the whole thing into this.
I confess, Jeff, I'm getting to a point with this episode where it's feeling very drawn out to me.
What do you want?
Like we've done this before. Like
They're taking a lot of time in the Comet Tail, in this, with the
yeah,
smoke stuff.
like we've seen him with the ghost people before. Okay, fine. We've like, is that a decahedron?
It's like a dodecahedron or something. Oh, I thought she got blasted for a sec.
I'm on it.
Dude, her punches are so like, she had her wrist like turned like that, like
Right.
instead of like a nice solid like she's coming at it like this, like
gonna
throwing
break
a
her
jab
wrist.
with a hook. Yeah.
We're clear.
Yes.
Good shooting, Sarah.
I just need a second.
Jeff, I'm about to walk out of this. I'm dead serious. I was cool with this for the first, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, but this last bit, and that right there, that is fireably offensive. That I just, oh my word. That is
Yeah.
that is awful.
Wow.
Awful.
I just hope she got paid very well, because I doubt she ever worked again.
That would have tanked the reboot. Literally, that could have tanked this whole show. That right there.
What decision-making process says, yes, leave that in?
When you shoot it and then you get it into the editing bay and you see it and you go, we're either reshooting it or we're cutting around it.
Yeah.
Like, no.
If this is the pilot, right, the next episode, they have a conventional weapon system. Like, we just forget this. This is that thing that you forget ever happened. Because, oh my God.
See that? How much time do we have left in this? Oh my God. Like, okay. Our job is to document this thing, right?
Yes.
I'm at a spot right now where I just want this to end. I just want this to be over. I really do.
Okay.
Like I was with it for the first bit, but this last, and this is supposed to be the action part. This is supposed to be the exciting part. And I'm like, oh my God, stop.
If this is the action, I don't want any more action.
No. And what are we doing? Like, I don't, what are you setting us up to go do? You know?
Yeah.
Stargate, we're going to go explore all these worlds out there. Cool. Crusade, we got to find the cure by going and exploring all these worlds out there. Okay, cool. Like, I could find all that sort of stuff. You could see it earlier in the show, like where they're going. Like, I don't.
Oh, I know where they're going with this. This is going to end with us knowing just enough about these aliens that's our new mystery, our new thing to go off and do stuff.
Where's the legend of the Ranger here?
Oh, it's right here. We're literally looking at it.
There's no legend. What is the name of this thing? Like,
there's a legend of Anlashok in the sky.
You know, if you're going to start this off and you're going to tell me this, you've got to tell me, like, this is the best Ranger who ever lived, but it didn't start out that way at first. And something, you know, like, yeah, I just don't.
Something.
Do we have to finish this?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Well, let's finish it.
Because it's going to get, I think it's going to end well. I think we're going to get, it was like, oh, okay, that made sense.
I mean, this girl, listen, she's a lovely person. She needs to be Takashima'd, you know?
Well, I think she's fine.
I know.
She's fine.
But not after that.
You just have to drop this whole concept that this is how your weapons look. Just forget it ever happened. Move along.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. We'll get you through this. The only way out is through.
Listen,
right.
Here's my only consolation, Jeff, that you and I are doing this together. So let's go.
Right? No, nobody I'd rather suffer than this with.
Launch escape pod!
Martell's a good captain.
Come on.
Like, I like him in charge of a ship.
Go for it, you son of a
bitch.
Stand by. Wait for it.
Now!
There you go. Now we're not going to get blown up. We're just going to run out of energy.
Captain,
Floating here in space.
something you should know. That last overload of the weapon system.
Well, how long until you
There's
can...
nothing we can do to repair the weapons unless we bring the ship into docking for repairs. From this point on, we're completely defenseless.
I almost hope this ends with them getting blown up.
Yeah. And then we get
not because I don't like
pilot
them
next week.
Right, yeah.
With an all new everything.
Just like, hey, I got all these ideas.
Nafeel can stay.
She's great.
Stay.
Okay, here's the deal.
We live for the one, we die for the one. If I go, you go. Enough!
Do you kill for the one?
Enough.
What are we dealing with, and who are they?
They do not have a name as you understand the concept. They are called the Hand. The Hand of God. The Hand of Death.
Is it the big tiki
that reaches
thing?
forth and blots out whole suns. They have left.
Jeff, we know this. We've heard this before.
Mm-hmm.
What is this from?
Geometry of Shadows.
Was it Geometry of Shadows?
Mm-hmm.
Was it?
There's a great hand coming down.
and it's blocking out the sun and something like that, right? Like we've heard this, but in Geometry of Shadows, we're led to believe that that's the shadows.
The shadows, Londo, all that stuff going on. But the only time we saw the hand was in like one scene where it came out. I think that was tied to Sheridan.
Was that Elric doing that one?
Yeah. So maybe this was also foretold.
If they pull a Technomage into this, it might save this for me. Maybe.
You cannot stop them. You cannot fight them. You cannot defeat them.
That's the tagline right there.
Only join them.
Or
Be
die.
ground into dust before them.
Resistance is futile. That's what they're saying.
Sarah, destination is in sight. Repeat, I can see the jump gate.
Did you catch where he said that they make the shadows look like nothing more than insects?
No, no, I missed that. So not the shadows.
We did.
Not the shadows.
Supergirl?
Oh,
what's she doing?
Fair. Oh, it isn't fair.
All right, she's worse than Chambers.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yes. It's not even close, Jeff.
You sure we have no weapons at all?
Nothing. But if you want, I'll put on a breather suit, zip out an airlock, and throw rocks at him.
It's basically what you were doing anyway.
Game if you are.
We're not gonna give up, are we? I mean, not after all this.
Out for a walk. Thought I'd stop in and see how you're doing.
It's weird his name is David. I just thought that.
Without weapons, facing imminent destruction unless we turned over the prisoner.
Dulon, how did you know that?
They told me.
Where you were.
What are you going to do?
Dulon, I don't know.
Do the thing. Let's do the thing.
Let's just
it's like the Infali all over.
Let's ground to a total halt here.
Weapons or engines are failing.
Yes.
Gun.
No, not like in Folly. We were outnumbered and outgunned, but there is just the one ship, yes. Then perhaps that is what you should use.
Nothing.
Yes.
The nothing?
As in, I've got nothing new to use.
Exactly.
Dulon, that's not
enlightenment.
I'll see you later.
I'll see you in hell.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Thanks for
I'm
making
already
me
there.
guess while
Thanks,
we're
dude.
like in danger. That's great of you. Ah, look how mysterious I am.
Malcolm, just the man I'm looking for. In light of the enemy's demands, I need you to make certain arrangements with the prisoner.
What are we gonna do?
Give them exactly what they want.
Hollow suit.
You know, honestly, if instead of making this a feature length, they would have just done it as one episode, it might have saved this whole thing.
Probably would have been great.
Yeah.
We will agree to turn the prisoner over to you in exchange for safe passage through the gate for myself and my crew.
What?
Keep the pod directly between us and the alien ship.
I just don't know who they're sending over.
You know, for just a moment there, I thought maybe you came up with some kind of angle I just couldn't figure out. Your angle was to give them exactly what they wanted.
Why don't you check yourself, lady? Oh, that's even better than what I thought. That's
Didn't we
hardcore.
see somebody do this only in reverse? Like they took a ranger and did that with a ranger and used him as a bomb to blow something up.
I think they just used him as a messenger.
I'm parking the ship
Just a
right here,
messenger.
and we're not leaving until somebody tells me what the hell just happened here.
But since they were going to scan the pod, I knew we couldn't put any large remote-controlled detonators inside. So I borrowed about 50 grenades from the armory.
Kafta?
He was responsible for the death of over 1,000 people on board the Valen and Beta Durrani 7.
He wanted to join his associates. He did.
Even
So
he's
that's
like,
why you wanted me to keep the ship on a straight line with the pod. So they think the transmission was coming from inside the pod.
They know what we did last time. And they knew that we knew that they knew. So they made the perfectly logical assumption.
But did you know that they knew that you knew that they knew that they knew?
Tell us this.
Because I wanted your reactions to be sincere.
You know, rumor has it you spent the last few years just wandering the galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Friend, there are things out there beyond imagination. And I have a rather healthy imagination.
Well, you'll have to tell me about it sometime.
She's gone now.
No reason for it. The path I took is not the path you will take. And where you walk, you will see things even more astonishing.
Standing by.
Has G'Kar really done anything in this episode, though, other than just be a guy from the old show and bring that gravitas to it?
It's pretty much, he's been voice of God for this. Just
like he's not
this
actually done anything in this episode.
You know, actually, I've never seen it before. Maybe next time we'll stop over for a few days.
You should. It's quite a place. A place of good times and bad, of pain and growth. But in the end, a place of great hope.
There's the G'Kar we know.
But if you ever do come aboard, remember one thing. No one there is exactly what he seems.
Oh. I feel like that should have made like all the B5 nerds like freak out.
Right.
And frankly, it just seems lame at this point.
Yeah. Hey, like the overlay of the theme song there. And then reminding us what property it's a part of.
I feel like if we could see that in HD, that'd be a pretty cool render.
Yeah. All right, Brent. We just got done watching The Legend of the Rangers for the very first time. We'd never watched it before. We watched through it together. And why don't you kick this discussion off, Brent? What are your what's your initial reaction to this one? Tell me how you really feel.
You know what? I was into this show, movie, film. I don't even know what the heck we're calling it. I was into it for the first half hour.
Okay.
45 minutes. Like I was tracking. I was in. I was solid, right? And then it just started losing me, man. Like frankly, I don't care. There's nothing about this that makes me care at all. I have zero connection to any of these characters other than G'Kar, who, if you watch the reaction video, we were just saying as the episode ended, G'Kar did nothing really in this show. Like he was just there to be like, oh, we know him. It was great to see him. Great to see G'Kar. Like it was fun. But as far as having like an actual impact on the show or an influence in the plot of what really was going on, like a significant influence, that was specifically that's unique to G'Kar. Not that they could have put any character in from Babylon 5 and done exactly what G'Kar did. Like it didn't have to be G'Kar, you know?
It didn't have to be anybody from Babylon 5.
No.
It could have been anything.
It could, yeah. It could have just been an entirely new character and it wouldn't have changed anything. We're taking an ambassador to his conference. A funny thing happened on the way to the conference. Like, that's kind of what this was, you know. And there were points where it just went from I don't care to boring to drawn out to absolutely ridiculous,
over the top,
and a point that made me throw my headphones down and want to walk out of this room.
Yes, it did.
Literally. And then it just didn't stop. You know, if this is what you're going to give me and tell me that this is going to be, look, this is not a good, if this is supposed to be a pilot, I'm okay. There's a new alien threat. That's your pilot is new alien threat. Okay. I still don't believe that this is the crew that's going to take on the alien threat.
Right.
With Battlestar Galactica, because their ship isn't connected to the Cylon thing, so they're the only ones who can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With Crusade, okay, they're off, so they have a special ship they can go. They're got to look for. Why these guys? There's no reason it needs to be these folks.
Well, I think what bothered me the most with that, because I was in all. I mean, there were definitely some points in this that were just like absolutely offensive. But I was in until the very end when it's like, we're going to set everybody up. We're going to go find these aliens. We're going to learn about them until they said, literally, hey, do we have a mission? And then they're like, well, you know, we'll get one here eventually, like at some point. And it's like, what? You're not even going to be like, we have to go out and learn about these people and do this stuff. No, none of that. Just
nothing about this makes me want to come back and watch another episode at this point.
Agreed.
And
it's too bad.
That's why it didn't get picked up. That's why it didn't get picked up.
If it was, I want to be really clear that we're assuming that this was a pilot or an idea.
Oh, this absolutely was a pilot.
They built
an
sets.
attempt at a pilot. Like,
I do have to say,
I'm sorry, Jeff. They put in a freaking opening credit scene.
Yeah, they did.
It's a television show opening credit scene. Like, no, this is supposed to be a pilot. There's no doubt about that.
I agree.
What network? I don't know.
Yeah, give me just a sec.
Do your thing. Yeah, guys, I really wish. Hey, listen, I'll take this moment right here while we're live. If you guys got comments down, let's see what you guys got over there. You guys have been really quiet over in the comment section tonight. Really, really quiet over there. Let's see here. Okay, so I won't go to you guys over there, but holy schmo. I think it just made me mad. I'm almost mad. Almost. Not quite there, but I'm almost mad at this. I'm sorry if I'm pooping all over the stuff that you guys like. Well,
here's the thing, Brent.
At least
I think
Jeff liked it. I mean,
I did.
At least Jeff liked it.
I want to be really, honest about that. I did like this. I
liked the first half hour a lot, actually.
I liked a lot about this. It was literally the whole stupid weapons thing. Like that has to be one of the absolute dumbest things I have ever seen on television, ever.
It's a pink castle.
And I watch YouTube on my TV. So like that says everything. Tell me about this pink Disney castle. What is this?
Yeah. So I said and just to be clear for the audio folks specifically, what we're talking about is the weapons officer, in order to fire the weapons, went into a holodeck of sorts and sat in a chair / floated around the space. And she literally punched the ships out of the sky.
Yeah. And not just punched them, but like,
and she kicked a few of them. I mean, it's kind of like what you think the drivers of the Power Rangers did. Like, you know, their moves inside the cockpit is what their robot person did. No, so here's what it is. Back in 1997, Walt Disney World held its 25th anniversary.
Okay.
I happened to be there for the entire run of the whole dang thing. And they thought that it would be really cool to transform the castle into a birthday cake.
Okay.
To celebrate the thing. And when you go in and you look at it, and they basically, what they do is they put like blow up balloons around the castle, like surrounded the turrets and everything, and turn them into like cupcakes and all this kind of stuff. And you can Google the 25th anniversary Cinderella Castle at Walt Disney World. It looks awful. Yeah. It is absolutely awful. However, when you go back into the offices and you see their conceptual drawings and their lithographs of what it was supposed to look like,
beautiful,
looked so good. It was so dope. But what it turned out in reality was horrible. And so I often refer to the Pink Castle as when you have something that in concept sounds amazing. In concept is awesome. When you plan it out, it looks cool. And then when you go to execute it, it is the exact opposite of what you wanted to have happen. And you're so committed to it, you can't not do it at this point.
Right. You're invested.
Yeah. So it just, you know, and I go Google the 25th anniversary Cinderella Castle and you'll see what I'm talking about. And it just, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. I have to believe, and we talked about this during the episode, but if this were to get picked up as series and move forward, we would never see this idea again. They would just use regular ship battles and weapons and would just pretend like that's one of those pilot things that came up, that this will, like the gravity ring in The Gathering, where Delenn had the gravity ring on Jakar, and she's like, what? 3 gravities, 4 gravities. And then we just never saw it again because that was ridiculous.
And I'll just say the actress that played her would also not be coming back.
Yeah,
Just sorry, not going to happen.
I really tried to like, I don't know, see it from, oh, maybe it's the directing, maybe it's this, but no, it was all three corners. The writing, the directing, and the acting were horrible for her. Horrible.
Jeff, I just pulled it. I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
Here you
go. Oh yeah. Okay. That's the idea, right?
No, this is what it actually came out to be.
That's real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And all of the, so like they literally painted the side of the walls pink. And then you have all this stuff, which is just blow up balloons around it, and turned everything into this.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of work went into that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of money. They left it that way for a year and a half.
Oh. I do have to say, this movie looked amazing.
Sure.
We had new jump points that came, like the animation for the jump gates was incredible. I liked the new take on hyperspace. It just looked more dangerous and scarier. They took a page from Stargate in the ship where it was just super dark and you could barely see anything that was going on most of the time. But I think from like an effects standpoint, outside of the space battle thing, with the pew, 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 punch, punch, punch thing, outside of that, it looked incredible. I honestly, though, I think the only other thing I have, I mean, I don't have a lot of notes, Brent. Like this,
I don't either.
This is this is kind of like Third Space, where it's an episode. This is an episode where it's like the episode, if I think I'll remember, but the probe came, right? And it's like, hey, if you can crack this code, we'll cure diseases and hunger and then never again. That's all this was. Hey, there's this really dangerous race out there, and we got past them this time. Whatever. So I mean, I don't have a lot, but what I do have is I really like the character of David Martell. I liked him a lot.
Okay.
No, you didn't?
I this thing, I'm so ambivalent towards him. Like I didn't hate him, but I can't say I loved him. I'm just, that's what I mean. Like I didn't care about any of these folks.
Yeah.
Nafeel. I cared about Nafeel.
She
was awesome. But everybody else I was very the Minbari dude, Duran,
I think.
Duran. Yeah. That guy, like you could recast anybody else but Nafeel to me, and it wouldn't make me cry.
Wow.
You know, now Dave Martell might have been the second best of the whole thing, but like the dude with the changeling net, whatever. The guy who was their comms officer, whatever. The certainly the weapons lady, whatever. Like
that Drazi guy.
The Drazi guy is kind of funny. I kind of want to hug him, but also if he was to be replaced, because he did nothing.
Nothing. He got shot.
Yeah. I mean, he had a comic moment. Could have done a lot more with him, actually. He'd have been fun.
One other thing, looking at it now, I'm like, oh, we did learn a thing, though. I think the thing that G'Kar brought to this that no one else could have is we learned that Lita is, quote, gone now.
Yeah.
What do you think that means? Like, do you think she's dead?
I think she's dead. Yeah.
Really?
I think it is implied that she is dead. As much as we are to understand that Talia is dead.
Okay.
Just because Bester came in and said so doesn't necessarily mean like, oh yeah, we did this. But he's in the middle of trying to get emotions and stuff up. So I don't know that I really quite believe that. It's open-ended. If Lita were to show up at any way, shape, or form, that's a 2-line dialogue right to explain what G'Kar meant by that. This is not a yeah, Darth Vader killed your father, Luke, and then you have to go back and rewrite the whole dang thing. Yeah. Like, no, he is your father, and I was just meaning that. Like, no, this isn't that. Like, she could pop up, and she could just be gone. Like, she's just not. You know, I have an ex-girlfriend. She's gone. Like, not in my life anymore. Like that. I don't think it could be that. But my inference is she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
What about you? Do you think she's dead or supposed
Probably.
to be dead? Or
I think she probably is. And I imagine maybe it's in a book, one of the books or something somewhere. What I want to think though is that she's gone and that they were out exploring and whatever and found things beyond our imagination, and somehow like because she was super Vorlon advanced, like she became a part of something else, joined something else, moved to a different, like went and transcended.
Did she go beyond
Not
the
necessarily. I'd say not necessarily beyond the rim, but similar to Beyond the Rim.
Okay.
Which would be cool. I think it'd be anticlimactic to build a character up like Lita and then just be like, yeah, she died.
Yeah, and I mean, why would you write her as being dead when unless you just hated the actor and you wanted to kill them off and ensure they never could come back?
Like,
otherwise, you leave the door open. Yeah, but he left the door open. I mean, I think he purposely left the door open that if Andrea Winters,
something like that, yeah.
If
it's Talia Winters,
Andrea, whatever her last name is,
yeah,
not Doyle. If she ever wanted to come back, the door is open. Could happen. So anyway, yeah, what was her name? Andrea. You guys know what's her name? What's her last name? Andrea.
Okay. I'm ready to go to messages if you want to transition.
Well, with all of that, Jeff, I have to ask. Did you pull any messages out of this? Anything that holds up America society, gives us hope that things can be better in the future, like the episode ended, or that we could just be better human beings to one another, or just anything? What positive stuff did you get from this episode? Because, yeah, what'd you get?
What did I get? Yeah, it's
what'd you get?
Oh my god! So this is where Jakar steps in for me. Yeah. Like in so many episodes, especially the 4th and 5th seasons, here's Jakar with the message. He says, is it not as honorable to live for the one as it is to die?
There you go.
And so like what I really pulled that into is it better to fight and die needlessly or run and fight another day? And what we saw here is it's better to run and fight another day. When the odds are stacked against you, that's what you do. That's why Martel was able to do all this stuff. We saw Tenir not do that with the Valen, and that went away. Also, I think like in terms of, is that the point of this or whatever? Like, no. It was a through line to give David Martel kind of a bit of an edge, to whatever he had coming in as his character, but I pulled that out.
I love that you pulled that out because I really loved what he said there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, is it not just as honorable to live as it is to die? And he even goes on to say a little bit like, and I didn't get the whole quote, but he's like, to die is not honorable. It only lets you kind of get out of the stuff that you're in the middle of.
Mm-hmm.
To live, that's the challenge. And I'm reminded of a line from Hamilton. Dying is easy. Living is harder. Yeah, I'm totally with this. Yeah, we're going to stay until we die. Hey, how about you live and keep fighting?
Yeah.
And keep being around. Yeah,
exactly.
Like that is the honorable thing to do. That is the real thing. And that's the way you should look at this, and not just we're just never going to run away. I mean, you're going to wind up like freaking Marty McFly breaking his hand and ruining his career because you can't stand the fact that somebody called you a chicken.
Yeah.
And it's going to mess up your whole future and your family's whole future because you're being dumb about look, we need to go. What did you think of Martel's, and he said it 2 or 3 times over the course of the episode. What did you think of his breakdown of, okay, you can only do 3 things when you're in a battle. You can either fight, you can run away, or you can hide. And, that's what got him in trouble first time. And then he had to make that same decision later. What did you think of that?
I think it ties directly to what we were talking about. You can fight, You can run, right, and then maybe fight later. You can hide, maybe fight later. And what I thought of it really was the idea of like a parasympathetic response to things, fight, flight, or freeze. And recently we've discovered there's a fourth one of fawn, right? But it's the same thing. I'm going to fight, I'm going to run away, I'm going to hide and freeze, or the fawning, I'm going to be super nice and whatever to hopefully make this thing be conciliatory to try and make things go away. But I think it wove beautifully with the idea of, do you just die or do you find a way to fight again? And those three ways are ways to fight again.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that particular thing was pretty great. Was literally the only thing I wrote down through the whole episode.
That's a good thing though. Mm-hmm. And that one I think was supposed to be, because like you said, he said it 3 or 4 times. Yeah. It was really clear.
Yeah.
It was good.
You realize you could have played a drinking game with this particular film?
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm. And if I had any gumption to ever watch this movie again, I would do this. And I don't do drinking games a whole lot. I would do it here just for the shits and giggles of it. Pardon my language. Anytime they say we live for the one, we die for the one.
For real, man.
Because it was like, I don't know what to say here. We'll just drop that line. Like, there was one point I thought you could literally replace every line of dialogue in this film with "we live for the one and die for the one," and just let that be the entire dialogue of the entire film. That's what it felt like at some point to me.
And it would have been pretty much the exact same story.
Yep.
Just at one point say, well, this is the hand. And the hand does not live for the one, but it will die from the one. Oh. Yeah. Well, Brent, this is going to take a little bit of like remembering for us, because this is going back. It's been 13 weeks since we've watched any of the other movies. But do you remember we were creating a ranking list, like actually as the definitive ranking of all of the Babylon 5 movies? Do you remember?
I do.
Doing that?
Yes.
It's good because you have to rank this one. And we have 5. We have, let me get into my note here. We have 5. So that the order there is, in 5th place is The Gathering, 4th River of Souls, then 3rd Space. And number 2, we have a Call to Arms with an asterisk on it. That asterisk is that it should be number 1, but the score was terrible, so it's number 2, which puts in number 1 in the beginning. Brent, does the Legend of the Rangers crack the top 5? You made a comment as we were watching this. This was earlier on, though, but you're like, well, this is more compelling than The Gathering. I'm more here for it than that.
I am between River of Souls and The Gathering right now. Like, and I think River of Souls was way better than this. I really do. Was this better or worse than The Gathering? Here's the thing. This was way better than The Gathering early on. The Gathering, though, you and I have already done our second watch of The Gathering.
Yes.
And it was an entirely different experience the second time than it was the first time. The second time was not good. It was awful and super painful to get through that. And we both questioned when we got to the end of that, how would we ever want to continue a show watching this episode? However, when you and I watched it for the very first time, you and I both had the exact same experience, and we didn't watch that one together.
No.
And that experience was, hey, listen, I can see where they're going. There's definitely a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned up, but I'm in. I'm in for whatever they're wanting to do. I'm ready to go watch the next episode. Let's go.
And frankly, that series got picked up.
Yeah.
This one did not.
Exactly. This one, I don't know where they're going. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. And I don't, there's a new alien we got to go fight. Okay. How many shows have I seen that's us fighting an alien? That's your whole premise. That's what you gave me, is it's a new powerful enemy. Oh, we have the Borg. Oh, we have Q. Oh, we have, what's the next new powerful guy? Like, really? That's what you're going to give me? So yeah, no, I don't think this is better than The Gathering, because I got to the end of The Gathering and I wanted to watch the dang show. And as you rightly just pointed out, got to the end of The Gathering and that show got picked up. This one, I don't want to go watch a new show. I really don't. And I cringe. So this is 6 for me, Jeff. Wow. I'm putting it in at number 6. Although, if you want to put another asterisk by this, from a production level and from many on many measurable cases, this is way better than The Gathering. But the one that actually counts, I can't put it there.
It's fair. I mean, I can't. I personally would have it above The Gathering, but it would be this would be our number 5. It's not going above A River of Souls. Like, I didn't like River of Souls.
I didn't like River of Souls either, and River of Souls was better. And I'll say, I mean, you're asking me to take 2 episodes that frankly I don't like a lot, and tell me which one.
Yeah, right. It's like,
you know, I don't know. Maybe watch this a second time and I'll like it more. I don't know. I doubt. I have no desire to watch this another time.
I think we called it during the watch that if this was a single 45-minute episode, this would probably be an awesome, amazing episode.
Yeah.
It was an hour and a half.
Yeah. And for at least 45 minutes of that hour and a half, I was just going, can this please be done? Yeah. Can this please be done?
Just let it end. Well, good news, Brent. It did just end.
Thank
we
God.
don't ever have to watch this one again.
Thank you.
Next week, we're watching a movie called The Lost Tales.
Uh-huh.
For the first time, we have never watched this before. We don't know anything about it. And we love to play our games around here. And this game is where we guess what it's going to be about based on the title alone. Do you have any guesses as to what The Lost Tales is going to be about?
I feel like I know this. And I cannot say this for sure, but I feel like for some reason, I know that The Lost Tales is some sort of an anthology show.
Okay.
And that this is like, this is going to be like 3 or 4 miniature stories within one larger story.
Okay, I get it.
And it's The Lost Tales, and it's just going to be like these just random whatevers thrown together. And that's exactly what The Lost Tales says to my, I cannot tell you where, why, or how I would know that, or if I even do know that. Like, this could just be my brain coming up with something, but I feel like this is what I know, and I have no idea why.
Almost like that Tim Roth movie, The 4 Rooms, right? There's like 4 different stories in one hotel that all kind of have one overarching story to them.
Something like that. That's my guess of The Lost. And that's especially probably because Tales is pluralized there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's got to be more than one. That's my guess. But I can't say that I know it. I just feel like I'm pretty confident that's what it is. You know. Okay. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think, and maybe I'm just desperate for this in some way, but I think this is going to somewhat harken to the deconstruction of Falling Stars again.
Uh-huh.
But it's going to be not way in the future. But this is the Lost Tales between Objects at Rest and Sleeping in Light. What happened in that interim? And it's not, I don't necessarily think anthology so much as just kind of like, here's this period of time and we're going to hit a couple points in it. We're going to have, I imagine we'll have some Sheridan, we'll have some Delenn popping in and out of it a little bit. But just kind of telling that story of the early days of the Interstellar Alliance. We'll find out next week. We're going to watch another movie right here. We're going to do it the same way. You get to join us for both our conversation and the reaction itself. Again, if you want to watch, if you're on our podcasting app or you're watching us on YouTube, if you want to watch the full unedited version of this, you can get that at our Patreon page, which is linked down in the show notes. And to make sure you can keep up on all that, please don't forget to subscribe, rate us, review us, do all that cool stuff. I'd love to read your review on here on the show. You can leave those at Apple Podcasts. I love it when they're left there. Actually does quite a bit to help us out, but to really help us out, could you share this with somebody? Yeah. You know, let them know there were movies from Babylon 5. We watched it and they should check this thing out. And hey, we watched all of Babylon 5 for the first time as well. It'd mean the world to us if you shared this. But I can't wait to cleanse the palate of this movie and watch this next week. So until next week, we're going to wrap this bad boy up. And
hey, Jeff.
I was literally going for the button. I was like, we're going to
make it.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, did you know?
Actually, I do know.
But do you know that they know?
No, I know that they know that he knows that they know that I know that he knows they know.
For crying out loud, dude.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.
I'll take that ending every single time.
That's my favorite of the outs.
I'll take that ending it is the best one that we've had for the entire show.
I enjoyed it a lot. Hey, I love this part of the show. Yeah, go. I'm gonna go. If you're gonna share some stuff, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yep, you do that.
All of you are amazing.
Yeah. Do you have any of the comments in the chat over there?
Let me look here.
Because I literally have none since we started the episode, and I think it's probably just a funk on my browser. Is really what I think.
No. So mine ended 2 hours ago.
Okay. So there's something on ours. All right. Anyway, that being said, because I messaged Nia and Nia was like, no, the chat's actually been very, very active. So guys, our apologies that we're not actually going to be able to go through your comments tonight because it's not here on our list and we got to figure out exactly what happened there.
Weird.
Because that is very, very weird. But you do have to go. And it's very late for me over here too. Nia, if you could screenshot some of those and send them to us, Jeff and I would love to read through them. Cool. and maybe Jeff and I'll come back and we'll do something a little bit later where we get to go through that. Nia just gave me the chat. Nia's amazing. Nia's great.
Absolutely.
Our Intel Za Nia. And with that, guys, thank you so much. We are going to get out of here though for tonight, and we'll catch you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Peace out.
See ya.